Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dami. I am back like I never left. If you're seeing my face for the very first time, like I said, my name is Dami. I am a Nigerian based in Brisbane, Australia, and I film basically about how I relocated to Australia with my family of 4, inclusive of myself, and life generally, lifestyle of what our life looks like living in Brisbane, Australia. By the title, you know what this video is about, but just in case this is my first video you're seeing, I will link my previous video of where I announced or share the good news when we got a permanent residency in Australia. So this video is just a follow-up of that video, but before we get into the details of today's video, let me just apologize to everyone. I see your love. I see the messages in my DM. Thank you guys. I am fine. I am well. I've just been busy with life lately. Life lately has been fun, interesting, and demanding, but it's what it is. We are back, and yeah, hopefully I'm able to give you guys some good content for this December break, because I'm definitely looking forward to it. So yeah guys, I've been so busy, but people who follow me on Instagram, if you're not following me on Instagram, this is a cue for you to just please follow me on Instagram. My handle will be up here. If you're following me on Instagram, you would have an idea of where I've been and what I've been up to, because I've been seeing you guys here to say, oh damn it, give us this, give us that. Like, everybody wants the new type of content that will be coming, but we'll get to all of that later on. In today's video, I'm just going to be explaining how we got our permanent residency in less than 3 years, the cost and the timeline of everything involved in getting Australian permanent residency. If that is why you're here today and you want to know more about, please sit down, relax, and keep watching. So before we get into today's video, I just want to put a plug in for guys. Please check Amber out. I got a message from someone recently saying, hey, I just got into Sydney, the lady I'm staying with disappointed me, now I'm stranded. To avoid this type of situation, you can use Amber as a student to get your accommodation. So please check out the website, and it is very easy to book Amber. Just go to their website, and basically what is Amber about? Amber is a platform to which students can book accommodation near their universities. As Southeast Asia's largest student accommodation provider, they are currently operational in 100+ cities in Australia, Europe, and the United States, and they have more than 20k listings. So to avoid any "oh, I'm stranded," Amber is the place to go to avoid any kind of disappointment whatsoever, and it is very easy to book your accommodation. All you need to do is to go to their website. I will drop all the details you need in the description box. All you need is to look for the accommodation you want, finalize on the place you have chosen, get your paperwork done, and your apartment is booked. It is that easy. And then, you know, once accommodation is out of the way, you can focus on other things. Avoid being stranded and check out Amber. I will leave their link in the description box below, and I'll keep talking about them. Please ensure you book through the link in my description box, because I'm in partnership with them. And then yeah, so please use the link in the description box to check out Amber. If you're coming to Australia, make sure you use them. Even if you're going to the UK, Amber is there for you. So yeah guys, please check them out, and yeah, let's get into today's video. Okay, welcome back. So yeah, as I said earlier, if you're yet to watch my permanent residency announcement video, please go and watch it, just for you to get a background. One thing I would say is preparation is very key to all of these things. So yes, we put in the works. By preparation, the very first thing I did was to get my IELTS done. But before I even go to in preparation, how did we get it? So how we got our permanent residencies, I've been working with an employer for the past 3 years. I came in into Australia on a work visa, which is the visa 482, which was meant to expire, I think, September 2022. Yes, about September 2022. But my employer have already given me incline to say, don't worry, if all things goes as planned, we will do your permanent residency for you. But then COVID happened, and there was just a lot of uncertainty in the air. But my employer was kind enough to say, regardless of what's happening, we will still get you your permanent residency. So with that at the back of my mind, of course, performance was also considered in applying for. It just involves a lot of things. So, and then it's not a promise of, like, they just say they will, all things being equal. So we're still subject to different things and like that. So yeah, my employer who brought me on 482 also sponsored me on the 186 visa. So in November 20, sorry, I have my note here with the date, so if you see me look down, just know I'm trying to pick up the date and cost when I get to that. So on the 17th of November 2021, my employer reached out to me and say, hey Dami, you've been approved by the business for us to sponsor you on your permanent residency. Trust me guys, I was happy. So it's like one of the, you know, happiest days of my life because it's finally happening, and then the conversation started. But proud to that, in April of 2021 myself, because I didn't want to get any surprises, you know, I don't want to get to that point and then I'm like stuck for information or getting the data across to the team who would be helping me with the visa. So what I did was I started preparing. Luckily for me, just before in April of 2021, my friend also got a permanent residency. So what I did was, I'm like, hey babes, give me everything you submitted, like the request they sent to you from the agency that you submitted, so that I can start preparing myself. So that was basically what I did. So in April, I did my first PTE exams, and then I did not meet the cutoff mark. I can't remember what the cutoff is, but I can do another video to say on 186 visa requirements. If you guys want it, please let me know. So I didn't meet the cutoff, and then I had to do it again. So that's another thing about preparation. Thank God I started very early on. I did not wait for when they say submit before I started, because I would not have passed, and then I'll have to receive the exam again. And you know, all this tiny bit delays is also delaying the processing time for your visa application. So what I did was, immediately in April, I took another, like I think I booked it immediately the results came out and I saw that I didn't pass. I did it again, and luckily I passed after the second attempt. The score was not so high, but I did not just pass for whatsoever reason. So yeah, I passed on the second attempt. So when they reached out to me in November, imagine I did that. No, sorry. So immediately I did that, I had my English results. I started processing my skills assessments. This one took a bit of time, and that was because I didn't have also the sufficient information or data they needed. So there was a lot of back and forth and delays with my skills assessment process. I think I've done another video which I can also link here or put in the description box on my skills assessment, the process, cost and timeline as well. So I did my skills assessment, and my skills assessment came eventually, I think maybe in May or June of 2021. So what I'm saying is, as of November, when they sent me that email, the business have approved for you to submit your PR application and would be sponsoring you, they took me through the whole process. So another thing to mention is, people have been asking me, oh, what agent did you use, what agent did you use? I work with an audit firm, and for most audit firms, at least that I know, maybe not all, they have an immigration business unit as well. So there's an immigration department within our firm. Those are like advisory services or kind of things that they do. So they also have that, so they have that business units who is compulsory for us to use them. You know what I mean? So it's not like I engage an external agent, and trust me, they may not be the cheapest for you people to use. So hence why I'm not going to refer them to anybody, and I'm not going to mention like the firm or whatever. So yeah, but I used an agent that was compulsory for me to use by my firm, if that makes sense. So the agent reached out to me, and we had our first initial call. That was, trust me, this thing came in November, and I did not have that first initial call until January, because it was in-house as well. There was little or no pressure I could put on them, and at the ending of November, everybody was already in Christmas mood, just like I have now. Like my whole brain is just looking forward to the break, and yeah, I think I really need that break with this year that was, man. So they reached out to me for our first call in January, and we started the whole process. Like, trust me, in January I thought that by maybe March my PR will be out. The whole internal process with my office is another story for another day. So we did not submit our application up until March 7. That is just because of internal delays. It has nothing to do with me preparing or getting my document ready. The only document I left up until the time they asked was police certificate, because I already made arrangement. I knew that that would not take time, and I was just avoiding, you know, getting it very early and they say, oh, this is late, you need a clean, like an updated one. That was what I was trying to avoid, and trust me, it still did not work. Anyway, I got the police certificate, got everything, my clearance, both in Nigeria and in Australia, and then I think, yeah, those two countries, and then we submitted our application on March 7th. Australian Immigration will humble you, my sister, my brothers. Oh my god. And the wait began since March 7th. So with our PR, the next thing was for us to do our medicals. And your medical, because you need a HAP ID to go and do your medicals, you can't do it all up until you've submitted, and then they are able to generate your HAP ID. Booking medicals as well will take time. There's delays, there's a long queue, but anyway, fortunately we're able to get April 21. Let me see if I still remember these dates, because all these dates, they are in my brain. Yes, we got April 21 and we went for our medicals. That was before I traveled to Nigeria. We did our medicals and another wait started again. Like, trust me, oh gosh. Anyway, we started waiting from April. We didn't hear anything. April went, May went, and June 5, we got a mail. Gosh, I thought that was my PR. I remember I was on a call and immediately I saw that mail from the agent. I just thought that was the PR. Boom. I even told her, oh my gosh, my PR is here, with the person I was on the call with. Boom. I opened it and it was S56. So basically what the S56 means is the visa officer is basically requesting additional information. I think they call it case officer in Australia. So the case officer is actually requesting for additional information. So they asked us for updated police certificates. See, I wanted to cry that day. Updated police certificates and yellow fever card. This yellow fever card, you know what pained me? Because this information we've already submitted, or they have in a will. So let me explain why I was really pained. Because that same day that we had S56, I had some other colleagues who got their PR that same day or the week. So it was so painful, like, oh, I submitted with these guys, they've gotten their PR, but you know the way God works, delay is not denial. So I became concerned and worried, like, oh my gosh, these people have gotten theirs, here we are, and they're asking us for additional information. But we just like respond to action immediately. I was able to send the yellow fever, because the yellow fever, for instance, we submitted it when we did our initial visa, right? So it's on our file. It hasn't, it's the lifetime one, you know, the lifetime yellow fever was what we took, so it has not expired. Why are you requesting for it again? But anyway, we submitted it, and now, like, our agent did not ask us for it, because that was our mindset as well, to say, hey, you submitted it when you're doing your 482, so you don't need it again. But anyway, they asked us, we submitted, and then we did the police certificates. We had to do these people. I have my first name, my middle name, and there's just a confusion with names, and then they said we should do a new police certificate that has just our middle name and a surname. I'm like, bro, the one we did before had our first, second, like, had all the names. Why they now said we should do a separate one with just our middle names and surname? That's me and my husband. Anyway, we're able to do that. That came out within 24 hours, less than, like, in few hours. I sent it back to them. So they requested for this on the 6th. The agent sent it to us on the 7th. On the 8th, I sent back all this information they requested for. That's June 8th. We did not hear anything again in June, in July, as in nothing. It was just dead quiet. The waiting game continues. Anyway, to the glory of God, by August 15th, like I shared, we got the good news and we got our permanent residency. That was just it. So it was a whole process. I would say from March 7th to August 15th. That was the old timeline. So that's about March, April, May, June, July, August, about 6 months waiting, and that is from when we submitted to when we actually got the grant. So it's a long waiting time. Some people have had it faster, bear in mind, some people have had it slower. So it is a case-by-case basis, let me just say. And remember, we are family of 40 people. I think for Neha, I think hers was 2 months, but because she's single, so hers was like 4 different people's visa, so it took a long time. But everybody have a different timeline. That's right. When people ask me, oh, what's the estimated time with the Australian visa permanent, I'm like, see, it is a case-by-case basis, sprinkled with a lot of God's grace. That's it. No timeline. If you submit any visa application in Australia, just sit down, relax, keep praying for God's favor. Forget timeline. Anytime they like, they will issue you the grants. that's it on that with timeline. So now let's go to the cost. With cost, I'm going to look at my book trial because I've forgotten all of this cost. It pay me small because the money is plenty. You waiting, it's plenty. So the first cost we paid was the government fee. So for a family of 4, we paid $8,967. $8,967. And that's why I tell people when they come on temporary visa, start saving. No, 8,900 is not small money, and it's not the only money. By the time you hear the complete breakdown, now you understand what I'm saying. Start saving for PR. Some people are lucky their company will still pay for their PR for them. And then let me say it as well. If you watch my initial video, I said my company sponsored me, and then they paid for all my visa and everything to come in here. Now that it's permanent residency, nobody is sponsoring me. I'm paying for it by my damn self, and I'm willing to pay it because trust me, it is a good investment with a high turnover. If you know, you know, you know. So yeah, I'm the one who sponsored, like me and my husband, of course, sponsored. Self-sponsored. Our permanent residency is self-sponsored. So you need to save if you come on temporary visa. So we paid the government fees $8,967, but the cost was like $4,240 for each adult. So me and my husband is about 8,000. Let me see if I know more. 8,480. So the remaining is for the kids. I don't know how that counts. Like it almost seems insignificant for the kids, but anyway, that's what it. No, the 4,240 is for the primary applicants, so which is me, and then the balance is split amongst my husband and 2 kids. So I think maybe dependent has another rate. So yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, the next cost we paid was professional fee. Like I mentioned, in my office it is compulsory for you to use immigration departments in the office. It is compulsory. Like it's no gainsaying. I've not seen anybody. I don't think we even question it because we are so much grateful that they are doing our PR for us that we don't question, oh, can I use another agency? So yeah, we use the office agency and we have to pay for it in full. Like if you don't pay, work won't be done. That's the truth. So they took I think the total fee we paid them, and that includes preparation of lodgements, nomination, and everything. They took $5,362. Remember 8,009 before, now $5,362. It is no small money, oh, so save. Okay. And then there was a surcharge on the account, 160.86. I don't know why they did a surcharge. I later saw it, but at that point I was so excited to get this PR over the line, as against questioning why you are charging me this or that. You know what I mean? So they charged me 160.86. I did PTE twice, like I said, and my husband did 1 time. So yeah, my husband needed to get PTE done as well. So PTE for 1 sitting we paid $375 times 3, that is about $1,125. And then we did an eligibility and assessment. This was paid to the agents as well, my office agents that I use. They collected initial eligibility assessments. Even that eligibility, it paid me, but I can't do anything about it because at the end of the day, I knew the visa I was eligible for. I have gone to Home Affairs website, imi.gov.au. I know what visa, but you still have to pay. It's their procedure. I paid them $509.85 for initial assessment, eligibility assessment. If I'm eligible for 186, something that I did myself. But anyway, it's all good. I need a PR. I paid it. The next course that was involved was skills assessment, which I paid $540 to CPA for my skills assessment. So, and I did that very early on, but yeah, so $540 is no small money as well. And I think police certificates, we did it 4 times, like I said, and that's just the Australian police certificate. We did it 4 times. The first initial to me and my husband, and then we did another 2 when they said we should use just our middle name and our surname. So that cost us about $168 for the 4 times we had to do police certificate. And lastly, my Nigerian, me and my husband's Nigerian police certificate, it cost us 30,000 naira. My husband got someone, I think from Naira Land, who we just paid, and we did all this fingerprint and everything, and they were able to help us. Like the turnaround time was so good. This woman is so reliable. She did it for us and it came back in no time. So that's everything we spent, excluding of the Naira. Naira is just 30,000 naira for the police certificate. The total AUD we spent is $16,832.85 for this permanent residency. So like people who know me in person or personally, when I say save, this is what it involves. I paid all of this out of pocket. This is not being sponsored or I came to Australia on a dime. I'm now in Australia. I paid for this permanent residency myself. So, but you might be lucky your employer would sponsor you. I've seen people who are that lucky. I'm not one of those people. I had to pay. So yeah, that's about everything that it involves, cost, timeline, and just on skills assessment as well. Let me just re-emphasize it. I've seen people who skills assessment cause them delay. You know, when you go to the professional body you're meant to do your skills assessment with, and they start asking you for additional documents or even need you to write some exams to be able to do your skills assessments. So please start, if you know that you're going to do this permanent residency of a thing and staying in Australia permanently is something you really want to explore, get your skills assessment done as early as possible. I've seen people who like did accounting professional exams in other countries, and by the time they come here for skills assessment, they need them to take additional CA exams or CPA exams to just be able to give them the CPA the skills assessment. So please start all this process on time. Anyway, with that said, I'm wishing everyone the best of luck, and yeah, that's it about this video. If you have any questions, as always, please drop it in the comment section. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and yeah, if you're not yet subscribed, why are you not? Why? Anyway, please ensure you do subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.